And Oscar, can you Uniform Delta Bravo is ready for taxi.
Uniform Delta Bravo, runway 34, wind 360 at 12, altimeter 2942. Advise intended runway.
Second the wind, please.
Wind 350 at 13.
Let's copy it, and altimeter 2942, Oscar Delta Bravo.
And advise intended runway.
Runway 34.
Uniform Delta Bravo, roger, runway 34, runway surface condition, runway 34, condition code 666. 10% compacted snow, 10% compacted snow, 10% compacted snow at 0938.
Thank you for that. And taxing out, Oscar Bravo.
Roger.
Good, taxing out, turning off the lights now. And the instrument lights get them to work, so brakes are checked. So there on the left is Jesse. Great guy. Here, that's Rob. So, taxi check, airspeed indicating 0 horizon is level in the turn QNH10. Correction, altimeter 29er.
Uniform Delta Bravo, clearance valid, runway 34, contact Montreal Center at 13455 airborne.
Clearance is valid, runway 34 and wind airborne 134.550. Thank you, Oscar Bravo.
Uniform Delta Bravo, roger.
It's so slippery here, I tell you that.
And with that, good morning from a very, very cold Iqaluit in Canada. And as you can see, it's still dark outside. Yeah, it was an early morning, but the GoPros, which are filming, they are not the best low-light cameras. So that means we can focus on our route, which actually is a 675-mile Great Circle line. As we can see on both vertical cross-section charts, the left one is from autoroute, the right one is from ForeFlight. Weather was looking perfect on this one, so did the wind, only a little bit of headwind. That means we just skip the taxi and skip also the ECU test and the pre-takeoff checklist and jump straight to takeoff.
Oscar, Uniform Delta Bravo is lining up for runway 34.
Uniform Delta Bravo, Cal Radio, roger.
Landing, taxi, pump 1, pump 2. Transponder is checked, brakes are off. Stall heat fail is checked, of course. Flaps are takeoff. Runway is identified, the project is clear. Good, then we have runway heading is checked. Annunciator panel is checked. Time. And takeoff power. Oscar Delta Bravo is rolling on runway 34.
Uniform Delta Bravo, Cal Radio, roger.
Takeoff power set, engine is checked, airspeed is checked, 50 cross check. And rotate. Positive rate, brakes. Gear up.
Yeah, as I told you, it was just too dark to film anything from here on, so yeah. It was a normal departure with a left turn direct to La Grande, and on departure I actually recognized there was a bit of northern lights going on.
What a beautiful morning. Or should I say, what a beautiful sunrise. So, we're en route. 10,000 feet to Lagrange. And I want to get a weather update, so I'm gonna do frequency 123.375, which is Quebec radio for weather information on COM2. And now we ask. Quebec radio, good morning. This is Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo. How do you read? Okay, they do not want to talk to me. Then I'll try Edmonton. Edmonton Center from Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo. How do you read? Okay, he does also not want to talk to me. Then I have 119er 150. Enter. That's Montreal. Montreal Center, good morning. This is Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo. How do you read?
Delta Bravo, Montreal Center.
Yeah, Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo. I would request the latest weather from Lagrange, if possible.
Lagrange weather at 1300, wind 090 at 3. Visibility 15, dew clouds 5,000, ceiling 3,100 broken, 20,000 overcast, temperature -32 to -35, altimeter 2983.
Altimeter 2983, thank you for that, Oscar Delta, bye. Okay. Did it say broken 100? Interesting. 2983 is the altimeter. Wind 090 at 3, so it's going to be probably runway 13. Visibility 15, view 5,000. Did he say broken 100? Did you get that?
I listened again to the radio call with the replay button, and then I managed to get the broken 3100. So yeah, this is why I continued. I would have been a bit nervous if it really was broken 100, but no, it turned out to be fine.
And altimeter 2983. Good. Then I have how much left for top of descent? 1.5 hours. So, yeah, enjoying the sun here. Just try to stay warm. But honestly, the DA62 is very, very good heated. So I haven't had the gloves or the HUD or freezing feet on this flight, and it's constantly -25. So that's good. I'm happy about that. Okay. See you in the approach in 2 hours. Well, let's say 1.5. Yeah, let's say 1.5. Bye, guys. Lagrange radio, good morning, Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo is 25 miles northeast of the field, maintaining 10,000 on altimeter 2984.
Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo, Lagrange radio, good morning. Runway 13, wind 090 at 5, altimeter 2984.
Runway use 13, altimeter 2984. How's the weather conditions?
Roger, runway 13 and Lagrange on the hour. Visibility 15 mile, 2,900 scattered, ceiling 1,300 broken, 200,000 broken, temperature -31, dew point -34.
That's copied. Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo, and Oscar Delta Bravo is going direct to ICMEL.
Uniform Delta Bravo, like I'm Roger, report to ICMEL.
We'll report ICMEL, Oscar Delta Bravo. So let's go to ICMEL, which is the initial approach fix from the LPV approach. So this is what I don't get. Why are they speaking French? This is what I never will understand. Because for the safety, for aviation safety, this is not like useful because I don't speak French and I have no clue what's going on there now. So I have no clue what's going on there, and to be fair, if one person talks English on the radio, I would say everybody talks English on the radio. This makes everything safer. But yeah, I'm not in the position to decide that. So, top of descent coming up here now in 1 minute. But you know what's amazing? -31 degrees. Holy smokes! That's the coldest I've ever experienced. Wow! So vertical track, we arm the VNAV at a V path and put it down to 3,500. Oscar Echo Uniform Delta Bravo is leaving 10,000, descending 3,500 on altimeter 2984.
Uniform Delta Bravo, like I'm Roger.
Then we do the checklist. Laying down the received, altimeter is 2984, 980, perfect. Comp FMS is set, safety harness not fast.
Les deux trafics là, sont non pertinents pour vous en rapprochement du nord-nord-est.
Merci.
I have so much on, it's not easy to get this seatbelt fast. Like on radio, Roger. So, adjustment backrest is upright, parking brake is released, rad trim is as required, gear, fire warning test is checked, landing taxi light, fuel selectors both on, and fuel pumps left, right on. Next is final. Should we do a V&E approach? I don't know, should we do a V&E approach? Mr. Tyra, what do you think? Should we do the so-called V&E approach?
Lang, Captain Lang, any chance you get to do a V&E approach, take it.
Okay, I'm gonna do the V&E approach. Thank you, Mr. Sir Tyra.
And Uniform Delta Bravo and Uniform Delta Alpha, like on radio traffic, taking position runway 31 for a departure northbound, a -8.
That's copied, thank you, Oscar Bravo. And Oscar Uniform Delta Bravo, when approaching ICMEL, we're gonna start the LPV approach runway 13.
Uniform Delta Bravo, like on radio, Roger. Traffic is now airborne, runway 31 in the right turn.
Looking out, Oscar Bravo. Okay, so I can arm the approach then, because it's uncontrolled. Glide path is white. And it's interesting to see here on the river. The river is like still moving, and so it must have plus temperatures. And you see, because it's so cold outside, it's evaporating. This looks so cool. Just have to capture that here, that you see it. You see how it's evaporating? So, we are approaching ICMEL. So, we stow this one. And now we're doing a left turn onto final track, 129er. And starting the left turn. Ah, there's a road! Wow! There's a road. So altitude 3500 is captured. And it switched to the glide path. And the glide path is captured. Oscar K Uniform Delta Bravo is fully established on the LPV approach runway 13.
Uniform Delta Bravo, like I'm at 0, roger.
So, 180 knots on approach. This is what we like. Good, then we do throttle back to idle.
Check gear.
Get down. Autopilot off.
Check gear.
1, 2, 3 green, unsafe flight is off. Speed is flapped, is checked flaps takeoff.
Minimums.
Continue, and speed is checked flaps landing. Final check, 3 green, rail off, flaps landing, route trim as we need it. On the needles. Welcome to Lagan. So I'm gonna turn off the P2 heat now here. Landing time 25. So we turn to left here. So landing light off. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The aircraft was drifting. Landing light off, fuel pump off, P2 heat is off, flaps are up, alternate air is closed. And we have it. Air system, of course, is also off. Now we go to the refuel, to the fuel truck, get fuel, and then we continue and do the last leg of this trip. So see you later, guys.
Or actually see you next time, because I will end this video here. Now you saw that the so-called VNE approach also can be done with the DA62, but please keep in mind this is not a training video and not the video where I want to motivate you to do things you are not familiar with. I fly these airplanes almost every day, I know their limits and I know the airport, and by the time I arrived there was no traffic in the traffic pattern and no other aircraft departing the airfield. So it was totally safe to do that. And now we continue into the cold.
Text light is off.
And as always, I hope you're doing good and see you in the next one. Bye guys.
Minus 31. Fuck. This is gonna be cold now, I tell you that. So, let's feel it. See you later. La Grande Rivière, minus 31 degrees. It's freezing cold. Holy smokes. Getting fuel and then we continue to London. Final destination. Yes!